What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Philly2Detroit Boxing. We got a very special guest on today. We got Saray Brown, 18-time national champion, number one in the U.S., number three in the entire world right now. How you doing, Saray?
I'm doing real good. How about yourself?
We good. We good. Thank you for hopping on with us. It's definitely an honor to be on with you. So we really appreciate you, taking the time out your day to hop on with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
For sure, yep. And then really just to get it started, we like to ask all of our guests this, like, what got you into boxing? Like, what created the love for the sport?
Um, well, I just wanted to try something different. Because I was doing a lot of dancing and stuff, like basketball, and I was like, I want to try something like I don't know, martial arts maybe, like
Hmm.
maybe karate or something. Um, because I seen my little brother, he was like getting into boxing and stuff, so it was like I want to try like karate or something. And one day I was just like, pretending like throwing kicks and punches and stuff, and
Hmm.
my mama was like, you got some real good punches, because she can spot it because she come from a family of boxers. She was a boxer
Mm.
herself. My
Oh, okay.
uncle, my uncle and my grandfather were boxers, and then my cousin's boxing. So she could spot it. So she was like, you got real good punches, and I was like, and at that, like from there, it didn't really go anywhere until we went up to my hometown, Albany, and we was Albany, New York, and we went to my uncle's gym, and I was trying to grab some gloves to work on a bag, and they were like, "Nah, I ain't no gloves around," because my dad didn't want me. Like he didn't really want me boxing at the time, like at all. Like he only wanted his sons to do martial arts, but he never ever wanted like his daughters or anything to do any of that. So I was like, my mama was like, you know what, we just gonna go find some gloves for ourselves, because they were like, there's no gloves around or anything. So we went to go find gloves, and I got on the bag. I started hitting the bag, and my uncle, he was watching, and he was like, you know what, she might be a natural. So he like put his mitts on. He was like, all right, come over here and throw some punches. And I was throwing punches on the mitts, and he was like, he was telling my dad like, yo, you might gotta put her into boxing, like she
Hmm.
look, could be something. My dad was still, like, nah. He was not like, nobody could tell him like that his daughters are gonna be like, getting hit in the ring and throwing punching people and
Hmm.
stuff. And it took my mom a minute, of convincing him like we should just, we should really let her do it. And he was like, finally one day he was like, all right. And he told me, I remember he told me, he said, all right, if you get hurt or anything like that, like hurt real bad, I'm taking you out of the sport. Um, and from there, I just love boxing. I just love like the adrenaline it gives me. I love how it makes me, think, and I, really gotta think real hard. Like it's like almost like playing chess. You gotta be real smart about it. And I really like, I just fell in love with the sport after that.
Right.
And I
And
just
that's kind
like,
of. Oh no, go ahead.
oh, like so ever since then, I just been real hungry for more. Like just every time I win a nationals, it's like never enough. I gotta get another one. I gotta get another one. I gotta get another one. It's never enough.
I'm about to say you definitely doing that with 18 of them things. So you definitely doing your thing for sure. And that's definitely a little weird because you never really usually hear that like your mom is pushing you to do the sport.
Yeah,
Obviously, yeah, you know what I mean. Obviously, you said she was a boxer too, so it kind of makes a little bit more sense in your case. But you still never really see like the mom pushing you to go ahead and go get punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's like you never really see that. So that's cool too. And like, is your dad your coach?
yeah. My dad is my coach at the moment. We was I started out at Lugo Boxing. Big shout out to him. That was my coach for about like I say like 8 years. But now I'm just training with my dad. And yeah,
Right. You said Lugo boxing.
yeah,
I was about to say his sons are really good too, right? They have like
yeah.
Nathan Lugo and stuff like that. I think. think his
Yeah, and
name is.
Elijah Lugo. Yeah.
Yeah, they really good too. Yeah, I'm hip to them too. They really good. And then, how is that like relationship with y'all? Because we have a lot of people, guests on here that they do have that father fighter relationship, and then we kind of tend to think like, is that a good relationship? Because we kind of see people kind of get into it with their fathers or whatnot, but
No,
then you
it
kind
was
of see,
no,
yeah,
it
go ahead.
was yeah, it was a good relationship. He's like an uncle. We still like close and everything. But you know,
No, I feel you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, but do you ever feel any pressure going into your fights because you're 18-time national champion? Because the
Oh,
reality of it is like you're the favorite to win every fight you into, and like 90% of the people who watching this fight believe you're gonna win. So do you ever feel that pressure going into fights?
oh, all the time. Um, especially when it's the nationals. I feel like I gotta put 110% into my fighting because, I know people look at me and they be like, she's a favorite because she's got 18 time, but I push myself to the limit and I work super hard to win all my nationals, and nothing is ever given to me. I work real hard to get all of these like nationals and stuff, and
Mhm.
yeah, I feel so much pressure because I can't if I got all this nationals experience and all of these titles, and if I go in there and I don't do good, that's you know
Right. People definitely gonna say something. They're gonna always have something to say anyway. But
yeah,
especially if you don't perform to like the way you can, they definitely gonna talk then. So I see what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah.
And I was gonna say, what at what age did you feel like you wanted to kind of feed your family with this sport? What age did it kick in for you?
Um, I say like maybe 13, 14 because you know I started when I was like 10, and then I got my first nationals when I was 11,
Mm.
and um, you know, the hate started coming in. People started this new girl coming in and she's just beating everybody because I was just starting. I had my first fight around 4 months of boxing. So, there was a lot of hate coming in and, people, you know, that's going when you know you doing something, you're gonna have haters. You're doing
Mm-hmm.
something good when you have haters. You're doing something right. So, just people, oh, at first when I first started, when I was losing, it was oh, she gonna be good, she gonna be the champ, she gonna grow up to be something. And then when I started winning, that's when people started, oh, she not hype job, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
They used to call me, but I just was like, I want to show everybody that you know females can like do like just as good as the boys can do because I was hearing a lot of and I still hear it. It's a male dominated sport, but there's a lot of women coming into it, making it a name for it. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to bring it more light into like female, not just boxing but all sports, and just make people look at it and be like, it's the same thing. We can dominate it just as well as the men can do it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know, I just really love it. Like whether I'm making money off of it or not, I really just like going into the gym and working and fighting all the time and just all of that.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe you're going to Germany soon to
Yes, in
compete.
August. Yes.
And I was gonna say, do you feel the different styles when you sparring somebody that's like a Russian fighter or a Germany fighter or American fighter? Like, can you tell the difference between sparring different races? Because boxing is a race driven sport. Like, you got a Mexican. The reality of life is, if you African American, you probably gonna have a slick style. If you Mexican, probably gonna be an aggressor. So, do you tell the difference between each style
Oh, for
depending on the
sure.
race of a sparring partner?
Oh, for sure. Like my first international tournament, it's they have a real jittery style. They like to be in and out. A lot of them are good with footwork, but some of them aren't good with footwork at all. And then it's like they um they only like to punch up to their head. A lot of them
Hmm.
keep their chin up, They don't like body shots. They don't throw a lot of body shots. It's way different than how American boxers. But they can be real technical. Um, but yeah, I really like fighting internationally. Like their style is just completely different.
And do you
Mm.
like feel that like when you going into fights over there, like do you feel that with the judging? Because obviously, you're in another part of the world or whatever. Do you feel the difference between like a U.S. national judging versus like an international fight judging?
Definitely. Um, they already don't really like the U.S. So when they see
Mm.
us coming, they already like
You feel
it's
like
the
you're
it's the
already down
thing
the
going
point.
on. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you gotta completely dominate. I mean, you gotta dominate or stop them. You cannot leave it up to the judge. Like it cannot be a close fight. They're gonna give it to the other person. If it was a close fight, but you definitely beat them, like you can show it to many people, and they'll be like, you definitely got that fight. But if
Mm.
it's a close fight, they're gonna give it to the other country because they you got to completely dominate. And they are already expecting Americans to be aggressive because that's when they see USA, they expect them to be like a really aggressive fighter because you know, like I said, overseas they're more like on the outside and jittery. They're not aggressive, but USA they like completely different. They like to you know press the action. So
Yeah.
if you're not fighting like that, or if you're letting like the other country dominate you, or you guys are both kind of they're most likely gonna give it to the other one. But the judging is
yeah.
yeah, the judging is way different.
And then I was gonna say like as far as like the amateur system, like obviously you've been super successful at it, but do you like it per se? Like, because obviously amateurs is fast paced. Or I guess a better question is, how would you describe your style? Do you think it fits well with the amateur system? And then, I mean, obviously, to us at least, it looks like it. You've been super successful at it, but we're just trying
Mm.
to see, like, how do you feel about the amateur system, and do you feel like the pace of it is more your style, or do you feel like you have more of a pro style?
That's a good
I think
question.
this is Pops right here. Hold on one second.
What's
Pops,
up,
Um,
what's going
OG?
on? How you doing?
All right, brothers, how's it going?
Good,
Good,
good.
good.
Oh, y'all got to pardon me, man. I'm in the grocery store. I just popped in. I saw the link, so I just popped in.
Oh
So,
yeah, for
No,
sure.
you good. You good.
all right.
but no, I was saying like that's a real good question. I feel like I can do both. Like I have like both. Like I can. I don't know. I mean, amateurs is real fast. You only got 3 rounds. 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But I started noticing myself. A while. Well, I'll say like a few months ago. My style started changing, and I started slowing down. Not slowing down, but I started like trying to get more technical and like
Like more so picking your shots, kind of.
yeah,
Yeah.
picking my shots. Placing them more. Taking like more rounds to get into it. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad noticed. He's like, you're. It looks like you're going into like a pro style, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't do that in the amateurs. You gotta pick it up because you only got three rounds, 3 minutes. So, you know, I just started working back up to it to like punching the whole entire round, the whole 3 minutes, just punching. And I like the amateur style. It takes good stamina
Mm-hmm.
because to punch the whole three minutes and be fast and still stay sharp. Um, but yeah, I feel like I can do both. Like if I'm fighting, you know, if I have to spar a lot of rounds, I can pace myself
Mm-hmm.
for that many rounds. Or if I'm just only going three rounds in 3 minutes, I can pace myself in for 3 rounds in 3 minutes. But I like both. I like both of the styles, honestly.
And I think this is mom's right here, Latia.
Oh yeah.
It's not. Let me see if I can.
You got the whole fam in here.
We got the fam in here. Mom's, how you doing? I'm not sure if she can hear us.
Yeah, she probably.
She probably can hear. I think she just unmuted though.
Um, but yeah, I was going back to your amateur career. Do you have your eyes set on the 2024 Olympics?
Definitely. Right now, hopefully, I'm gonna get a wild card because I'm not gonna be old enough to compete in the the
24.
trials. I mean the
Oh,
qualifiers for the trials. So I will be old enough for the trials, but to the qualifiers, I'm not old enough for them. I'll be 18, probably like a few days after the qualifiers for the trials.
that's crazy.
Right.
Just
That's
So
missing it.
wow.
so hopefully there's I think they're still saying like the date could be changed possibly. So
Hmm.
if it is, then that would be good for me. But if it's not, I will hopefully get a wild card to fight in the trials because I will be 18. But that all depends on really my performance
Hmm.
like throughout the rest of the year. Maybe Germany, because the the system for the whole thing that's kind of confusing. So it I really got to work hard. Work real hard, harder than I ever because I've been working for this my whole entire life, but or my
Hmm.
whole entire time boxing, but
You know,
uh
a lot of I know I was gonna say a lot of people we had on here, a lot of females, especially successful amateur females, was eyeing on 2024 and 2028. Are you somebody that won 2 gold medals, or are you cool with the one and going to turn professional? Or do you have your eyes set on 2028 as well as 2024?
I really did want to do the 2028 if I got 2024
Hmm.
gold medal. I really would want to stay a second year, but that it's another 4 years inside
Yeah.
it inside the amateurs, and I'll be old, but not old, but you know what I mean, like
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
do.
Right.
Yeah.
amateur wise.
Right.
But I don't know. I think I think that's something I would talk about like after the Olympics.
Hmm.
Yeah. For the first time around.
Yeah, something I really think about. But I really would want to get another medal. That would be really cool to get it. You know.
If you were the middle twice, that would be crazy. Obviously we had Clarissa do that. You know what I mean? And she was
Yeah.
able to get two of them things. So if we had you do it, or we've been interviewing some of the other USA boxing like incredible talents that y'all got on the squad. So we hoping that we already rooting for y'all. So we hoping one of y'all go in there and just dominate. And then like
Facts.
going back to the USA boxing team, like who are some of the people that you like getting some work in with and sparring? We recently had Gabriela Tellez on. She spoke highly of you. We also had Yaslin Perez. She also spoke highly of you. So yeah, who are some people that you like getting work in with and that bring the best out of you?
Oh, those are my girls.
Yeah,
They 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 cold. Uh,
For sure.
I don't get to spar them. I don't get to spar them much. But hopefully this year I will be going out to Texas to get more work with them because I don't really get to spar them that much. But they really good, and when I did spar with them, like I feel like we both gave each other like real good work. Um, but my favorite people to spar, shoot, I don't have much sparring partners down here in Georgia, but trying to think. Uh, it's it's a couple gyms I go to, around here, spar, move
Hmm.
around with people. I spar some of the guys there too. Uh,
I was
but
gonna
yeah,
say, is it hard to find work sometimes with females because you a
yeah.
high level female?
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but I'm saying like especially in Georgia, it's hard to get work down there for like females. I mean, it's not a lot of them down here that I can spar,
right.
but when I go to nationals and stuff, and it's really hard to get like work just down here in where I'm from. Like we gotta travel far, especially just in
Right.
my own state to get some work. But it's good work for me when I get it. It's good work and it keeps me sharp.
Yeah. And then what would you or I guess a better question would be how do you feel about the state of women's boxing right now? Obviously, we in 2022 that probably was the biggest year for women's boxing and just like boxing in general. They kind of, they a lot of people's opinions they outdid the men. They just really did their thing. Like, who are some of your favorite fighters, and what do you think about the state of women's boxing? Kind of going moving forward into the future.
Oh, this is real good right now. I really mess with Katie Taylor, Carissa, Amanda Serrano,
Mm-hmm.
Sinisius. I mess with all of them. They real cool, and um, I always want to get work with them. Like I always want to spar with them. Hopefully someday I could get some work with some
Definitely.
of them. Um,
I also
Marlon.
saw, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I also saw you had a relationship with O'Shea Jones. Is that right too?
Um, Not really a relationship, but I knew her. We follow each other. Um, I watched her in the Olympics and everything.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, she real good too. That um, she's starting her pro career now. I think.
She definitely turned pro. She be out here in Philly with Bozy.
Oh yeah.
And I was gonna ask you, have any big promoters reached out to you trying to get you to turn pro early, or just let you know that they got an eye out for you?
Um, that's that's more of a question for my dad because I don't really come to me personally. They'll
Mm.
go to my dad, but my dad don't. He don't tell me like he not gonna tell me a lot about everything, but they usually come to like him or my mom about that about
Right.
promoters. But I'm sure there is.
No, I want to say I'm sure. I'm I'm sure they or if
And I
they
was
haven't yet, they're going to. Yeah.
Yeah.
and I was gonna say, do you have a promoter that you prefer? Do you have a promoter that you favor over other promoters? Obviously, a lot of the Olympians go to Top Rank because they got one
Yeah.
of the best matchmakers and they build you up the best.
Um, Best promoter right now. I'm not really like looking at one because I'm focused on the Olympics right now.
Hmm.
But I'm definitely gonna be thinking about that. You know, like thinking about it more because I thought about it sometimes,
Hmm.
but I talked about it with my dad a couple times. He asked me who would you want to go to when you go pro, and I'm like I'm not really when when it comes like closer to that time I'll start actually thinking about it more.
Okay.
Right. No, that makes sense. And then I also saw that you had I saw you on Instagram with Freeway Rick Ross, and I think I seen he had like Freeway Rick Ross or Freeway Boxing. What was that about? Does he have like a promotional company or like some type of boxing company?
I think he's trying to start like a boxing promoting company or something, but like again, that's another question for my
Yeah,
dad.
right. Yeah.
Hmm.
um, but I think he's trying to you know open doors and stuff for like boxing when it comes to boxing because he's like going to a lot of amateur boxing shows, and following a lot of amateur boxers. So I think he's
Hmm.
trying to do something with the boxing.
Right. Maybe moving that Jay Prince direction, that Jay Prince route.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. Who are some of your favorite fighters just in general to watch or get some game from? Do you study any fighters in particular that you might take some skills from or kind of watch a little close to kind of, guide, I guess, kind of test your skills against theirs, see what you can do versus, what they do?
Talking about amateurs or pros.
Professionals.
Um, right now, like who I really be like watching because he's southpaw is Shakur. I'll be watching
Yeah.
how he know how to stay like distant, like keep his distance, and his
Hmm.
IQ is just like crazy. Like it's just crazy how he be in the ring. Like he knows exactly what the
No, definitely.
on doing everything. That's one of the persons that I'm studying like right now. Like watching like a lot of his fights over and over and over.
No, that's definitely a great person to watch. Shakur, obviously, if people watch a lot of our podcasts, they probably think we a little biased towards Shakur because we just such big fans of it. Man, the stuff he is able to do
Yeah,
in the ring is
yeah,
crazy, man. Something like when you watching it, it's really like you can see the art of the sport for real. You know what I mean? So it's really, great watching Shakur. Definitely one of my favorite fighters. And then, I guess for the next couple of years, I know the Olympics is, your main goal right now. But what are some of your other goals that you have, besides the Olympics? Do you have any other goals in boxing, or it could be like just in your personal life? What are some of your goals moving forward for the next few years?
Um, after the Olympics, the goal is, thinking like whether I'm gonna do it again or if I'm gonna go pro, and
Yeah,
then
mm-hmm.
there I just wanna make a huge name for myself. Like I want when people to think about female or women's boxing, I want them to think about like my name. I
Mm-hmm.
want everybody that is gonna be my future opponent to be shaking their boots. Like I,
Yeah.
I want to be like the face of women's boxing. That's my big goal right now.
And I was gonna
definitely.
ask you, do you get inspired when you see big female shows like you just had the Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall? That was like a big show. Like everybody came out, it was packed. It was in another country. Did that make you like I can't like? Do you watch it like I can't wait for my time and when I have my big fight?
Yeah, I always see myself in the ring right there, like with a lot of people, like paying just to come see me fight. You know,
Yeah,
wait for that, like people to be excited, like that I'm about to fight. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it inspires me a lot. And I'm grateful for those female boxers that's putting it out there, like making it a
right.
big thing for us. Because then when it's my time, thanks to them, it'll be more money into the sport.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
More people, excited to see more female boxers come, female pro boxers come into the scene.
And
And
I was
another
gonna say
question.
we. No, go
Oh
ahead,
no, go
man.
ahead. This is probably your question. Go ahead.
No, no, no. You good? You good? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was
I
gonna
was gonna
ask
get to
you.
the fight predictions.
Oh no, I was gonna ask her. This is another one we usually typically ask as well. Like with you being such an elite fighter, you're fighting all this elite competition. Are there any girls out there that you see that you're fighting not right now, or that you have fought in the past that you see yourself fighting again in the pros?
Uh, I don't know, maybe. Uh, yeah, I have a lot of tough competition. Um,
Just level off.
So what you say, OG?
I was saying just level off. Say who you want to fight in the pros. Who you
oh,
gonna see in the pros.
Uh.
I don't know. Let's see.
Because
What?
basically, you know how guys like Ryan Garcia and Shakur and Devin, they've been
Yeah,
around each other. Like, so I'm pretty sure when they was elite amateurs, they probably was looking at each other. Like, I'm probably. So, is there anybody that you fought or you want to fight? Like your dad said that you see like that. Like in the future, I'm probably gonna see you at the top as well.
I say like my probably one of my toughest opponents that I probably see is Perla Bazaluda. I'll probably fight her in the future. In the pros.
Hmm.
That's one I think of. A lot of people that I fought, I see them, going up bigger weights.
Right,
So um, that's one that I could think about like on the spot right now. That
right.
I'll most likely fight in the pros.
Hmm.
No,
But no, I was
yeah,
gonna ask you some fight predictions on some fights coming up.
Yeah, I already know. I think T Bud got.
Oh man, she went straight forward.
yeah.
I
You went straight to the main one.
I think so.
And how do you see that? Like, basically, give me a like three keys to victory for Spence and three keys to victory for Bud.
um, I don't. I think Bud just, he got real good, countering, and Spence said that it's not gonna like work on him, but I don't know. I feel like he's real good at like the countering, but people think because they saying like he getting old, but that I don't think so. They think that you know Spencer's the younger guy, but I don't know. I haven't seen like Spence haven't been fighting like the same since the car accident or whatever. Like when I seen him fight, it wasn't like the same as before Spence. I don't know. To be honest, I just got Bud winning.
No, I mean, I feel like a lot of the times. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I just feel like I think we probably had about 12 guests on so far around there, and it's probably cut 50-50, man. We got people Bud, we got people Spence, so that's really a real 50-50 fight. We switch answers every day too.
It could go. It could. I mean, I don't know. It could be a close fight, but I don't know. I think he gonna pull it off. I don't know if I see a knockout happening. But I think it's gonna be a real good fight though.
I think it's gonna be a draw, and they'll fight again in December.
Draw. That's what we definitely want. We was talking about that the other day. Like they gotta have a rematch clause in this somewhere. We need.
I heard they both got one.
Yeah, it'll be a draw. They'll fight again in December.
It sounds like much like how Charlo and Castaño did, like a really great fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ended up in a draw. They went to the second fight, then Charlo cooked them at that point. But
so I was gonna ask some fantasy fights with Shakur. I'm assuming you got Shakur over anybody, even the Tanks and Devin Haney's of the world.
Definitely Devin Haney. He definitely got Devin Haney.
Definitely.
I don't see how anybody could think that Haney won that fight. Because when they do tell me that they think Haney won that fight, I'm like, there's no way you know anything about boxing. Like if you watch that fight, other than the pillow body shots that he was throwing out, really wasn't doing nothing to Lomachenko. I don't really see how you really thought that. Like I don't see how they thought that he won that fight. But yeah, definitely Shakur over Haney. I was saying like that fight, like I really, because Tank got good power and he also got good IQ, like IQ because he's been in it a long time. But
it's a tough one. It's a tough one because a lot of people underestimate Tank. Like you said, he got the good IQ, but a lot of people underestimate that. They just think he's out there to knock people out. You know what I mean?
He just got a good punch and he get it off on him. But he really set it up. Really,
no, definitely.
Exactly.
Especially when he fought Ryan, like that body shot from like nothing. He really seen like he seen what Ryan was doing with his arms. He had to calculate which way he's gonna go before he throw it out. So it wasn't just a punch that he just threw and was like, I'm gonna just knock him out.
Right.
So, a lot of people thought that Ryan was gonna beat him because Ryan is long.
No, definitely. And like you said, even with the first knockdown, like he saw everything that Ryan was throwing, was just able to counter that. You know what I mean? That looks slow to him, but we all know Ryan is being a super fast fighter. Anybody below the elite kind of talent level probably would have got cracked with one of those left hooks that Ryan was throwing. You know what I mean? But obviously, like we said, Tank got that high IQ level that people kind of underestimate. He was able to show that and get that dub.
Yeah.
No,
then how you like? Go ahead. No, you probably about to ask the same one I got. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say to get on to the women's side of boxing. Recently, Alicia Baumgartner was just on Jake Paul's show, and she asked for the Amanda Nunes fight. I said Amanda Nunes, the Amanda Serrano fight. How do you see that fight going, Amanda Serrano and Alicia Baumgartner, if it was to get made?
Shoot. I think it'll be a close fight. I think that one would be a close fight because Amanda Serrano, she can throw punches. Like, he can
Definitely.
all like that fight with her and Katie Taylor. That fight was
Crazy.
a good fight.
Yeah, that was a close, real close fight.
Bring it to Alicia, but you know she's real good too. Like she's real good when it like with her like power punches and like it's got good snap behind it. But yeah, I think that'll be a real good fight, and if it'll come, that would be a really good fight.
No, definitely. I'm a big fan of Serrano. How do you feel about that? I guess that's a great question too. She signed with Jake Paul. Obviously, Jake Paul's kind of doing his thing within the boxing world right now. How do you feel about like the whole YouTube boxing scene? Do you like it, or do you feel like it's kind of harming the sport?
I mean, they bring in people to it, and it's got money. And a lot of people looking at it like, what does boxing come to? It's a bunch of YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I see a lot of people talking about boxing more, especially like on social media, because their favorite YouTubers are starting to box. So now they wanting to get into boxing stuff. So if it bring the audience and the money, I guess. I mean,
It was good.
No, I feel you. And then especially with Jake Paul, he putting people in position. You know what I mean? Like you said, Amanda Serrano signed to him. She a legend. A lot of people probably thought that was crazy that this Hall of Famer is signed to Jake Paul. You know what I mean? But she's made the most money she's ever made with him, and she's getting the big fights that she wants with him. So it's making sense.
No, definitely. She said Jake Paul made her a millionaire.
Yeah. Yeah, we just had a couple more fight predictions for you, then we'll let you go. But these are some good fights one that we hoping gets made, and one is coming up. One is coming up the July 25th. We got Stephen Fulton Jr. and Nao Inoue out of Japan. How you like that one? Do you watch those guys?
Nao Inoue, he's a beast.
Yeah.
I gotta go for him.
You going Inoue?
No.
But I
don't know.
Against Steph Boy?
Yeah, against Cool. Yeah, Stephen Fulton. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just think he cold. Like I just be watching. Like it's just I don't know.
I could be biased though. I'm from Philly, so I could be a little biased.
Cold Boy is too. I don't think he can beat Cold Boy.
I mean
it. Skill set, man. The leap.
Yeah, it depends. I don't know. It depends. I think I got.
No, that's a dangerous fight, man. He like another tank. He touch that jaw, he's definitely gonna go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a lower weight class tank, like you said. You know what I mean? He got popped behind the punches. I think it's gonna travel up to this new weight class for him. So I'm really ready for that fight. And then one more I wanted to ask you too. We hoping this one gets made in the near future. It's not looking so bright right now, but Canelo David Benavidez. How do you see that one going?
Whew. I don't even know if that's gonna happen, honestly. But
yeah, it's not looking so good right now.
Benavidez is a monster.
Yeah, dog.
He's scary. But I love Canelo and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he been ducking Benavidez. Like
definitely ducking for sure.
So that'll be a good fight too.
He just got sent a $50 million offer. David team just sent him a $50 million offer. Well, at least allegedly. I don't know if it's true, but
I don't know if Canelo gonna take that, but that'll be a crazy fight.
Yeah, we hoping that one get made. Obviously, David is on the come up in the boxing world. Obviously, he's the number one contender at 168. But like you said, it's looking like Canelo don't really want to fight him. It's looking like he really don't want to get in there with him, man.
He kind of like Boots to me, where the older generation just like, I'm gonna let them have it. Like I'm gonna go ahead and fight a couple more times, and I'm gonna let them have it. I ain't fighting them young guys.
Yeah. A lot of guys not really getting in the ring with Boots either, man. But like we said, he got a good fight coming up, so we hoping if he get past this, we get him a Keith Thurman or something.
Win, it's a win, bro. Ain't no ifs about it.
And then so that's really all we have for you today. We really appreciate you for coming on. Like we said, it's an honor. We really big fans of you, and we definitely looking forward to seeing what you do in the future for sure.
Thank you for having me on here. Thank you guys.
Definitely. And definitely looking to have you back on here after Germany to review about how that experience went and things like that.
For sure.
Yep. And then let the people know where they can find you at any social medias or anything.
My Instagram is Sarai the Boxer, and I don't really have. I have my Facebook. It's just Sarai Brownell.
Okay. Cool. For
And
sure. Well, thank you for coming on.
Here too.
Yeah, thanks for moms and pops for coming on and hopping on with us as well.
Thank you for having us.